Hello, thank you all for being out there, looking in to find out what we're doing. I do look at my posts and the various replies I get on Facebook and on my website. And I got something, a very nice little, slightly creepy piece about how wonderful it was that the Limericks were coming out from a man called David Scheinberg, who made a rather good point about will there be an audio version of the Limericks. And in fact, there are no plans because the publisher's gone bust. No, it's not that. They've got other things to do. But I thought we'd do our own and in fact do it specially for you, David. So I've got together a crack team here. I'm going to read the Limericks from start to finish. Well, miss out a few maybe. And I hope you'll feel it was worthwhile. And thank you for writing in because it's Christmas, there's not a lot of work around. And God, this is going to help. So, for you, David Scheinberg, the Limericks. Here's the book, A Sack Full of Limericks. This is the studio, Andre Jacomin's studio, where a lot of Monty Python work has been done. We've done many sketches, readings and things here, and they've all been disastrous. But this, I think, could break the pattern. So here we are. Here's the book, A Sack Full of Limericks, illustrated by Tony Ross. And actually, Tony's illustrations are brilliant. Tony, if you ever see this thing, thank you very, very much indeed. You really bring them to life. I mean, not that they need to be brought to life. I mean, they're not inert, but you really made them look better. No, as good as they were. So, we'll just start in and here we go. A Sack Full of Limericks, start at the bottom. This is page 1. No, it's page 2. What's on page 1? Oh, the title. A Sack Full of Limericks. A doctor from near Aberdeen had a pet anaconda called Jean. If you said please, she'd give you a squeeze. But few of the patients were keen. There once was a man from Dubai, and to this day no one knows why. He stood on his head, slowly spun round and said, "E diggity obelson rye." A young man from Redcar called Vince used to drop very obvious hints, like, "Oh dear, I say, it's my birthday today, and I'm right out of after 8 minutes." An excitable fellow called Gomez told his dog, "I don't wanna know mez. Cleaning the floor, I ain't doing no more, and I've had it with nasty aromas." A lady musician called Hamp was prone to quite severe cramp. One day at the harp, she got stuck in F sharp and was freed by a acetylene lamp. A big bearded fellow called Sparks got up to all manner of larks. He'd sing Christmas carols while standing on barrels in some of the best London parks. A lady from Florence called Nella had a dog that was such a good smeller, it could sniff out a meal from as far off as Lille. If it was nice, who would tell her? A Frenchman called Didier Broom had a clear premonition of doom, so to hasten his death he just held his breath and lay all alone on a tomb. A surgeon from Glasgow called Mac once forgot to put everything back. As his train made to start, his case came apart and a kidney rolled down off the rack. A curious fellow called Lamb used to shout things at old tins of spam, like, "You silly old tin," and "Where have you been?" Then he'd move on and rubbish the jam. Still here? Only another 500 to go. You asked for it, David Scheinberg. A handsome young fellow called Frears was attracted to girls by their ears. There was a young lady called Marge who liked men with features quite large. A long line of suitors had whacking great hooters, apart from Monsieur Lafarge. There once was a fellow called Skaggs who kept all his things in black bags. When people asked why, he'd admit with a sigh there were certainly all sorts of snags. A South African... I'm over here, please. A South African farmer called Ted attacked a brick wall with his head. The blow could be felt all over the veldt, and in less than an hour, he was dead. A curious lady called Davis used to make threatening phone calls to Avis. She'd pretend to be mad and ask if they had any cars called Lucinda or Mavis. There once was a man called O'Brien who, whatever he did, kept his tie on. In the shower or deck chair, he was heard to declare that it shows I'm a man to rely on. A man called O'Hara one day decided he'd make the world pay. He wrote down a plan to destroy every man, but the wind came and blew it away. There once was an author called Palin, for whom limericks seemed just plain sailing. He wrote 94, but when asked for one more, he just ran down the street screaming, "Leave me alone!"